Tuition will rise at Baruch yet again next year, as it has been doing for the past few years. How will you ensure that Baruch students' money is being spent in their best interests and that they have a say in how it is being spent?
All right. Well, you see, many students are ill-informed about what is going on with our tuition, and that whose fault is that? You could say it's the student's fault, but I believe it's the USG's fault. You know, we need to get every student informed about what is going on. We have to hand out flyers about this is what's happening and this is what we want to do about it. You could protest all you want, but protest will get nothing done unless you have a referendum or something like that. You need to get the students informed and make them want to care. You see, that's why not that many people vote for USG, because not that many people care, because USG hasn't given them a reason to care. And we have to start doing that. We have to start informing the students about what's going on. And then we'll take care of the issues like tuition. Because we have to know what the students want before we know what we can do. Thank you.
As I've been paying attention to how the tuition increase is going on and everything. And let me just explain it real quick. It's something called incremental tuition increase. Out in California, they call it the SMART tuition increase. And what this is, it says that, okay, inflation goes up 2-3% every year. Tuition should go up 2-3% every year, so that you know what you're paying. I kind of like this idea, because instead of us going 8 years, all of a sudden the giant jump of $500 or $600 2 weeks before the bill's due. I don't know where I'm going to get the money for it. The money is, we're going to go into freshman year saying, okay, I'm going to spend $4,000 this year in tuition, $4,100 next year, $4,200, $4,300, $4,400, so that you can plan for those years to come, and you can have the money ready available for it, and your scholarship can plan for it, and your financial aid can plan for it. So if you want to be fair to everybody, if you want, it's not fair to the people who come beforehand who got education at a discounted rate, and it's not fair to people who get the jump like all of us did last year. If we all of a sudden have to pay extra $600 when people who graduated a year ago didn't have to pay that. So if you want to be fair, if you want to do a smart tuition increase, obviously I don't want a tuition increase. I don't want to pay more money for school. No one wants to pay more money for school. But if we have to do it, this is the way to do it. So I mean, if you want to talk about how, where the money is, what was the question, but where the money's going to go?
Where do you intend? Oh, sorry. Pause your time. How will you ensure that Baruch students' money is being spent in their best interests and that they have a say in how it is spent?
And we're running people for every single spot out there, and MBA is as well. So we're going to be out there fighting tooth and nail every single day for every single student in these committees, saying, I've been on these committees where a professor goes, wait a second, what about research? What about professors? And I said, no, wait a second, we're a college for students, and we get money from tuition for students. We get money from the state to go for students here too. So that's issue number one, and it's just a matter of being assertive and being confident in doing it. Thank you.
To talk about Zane's point about it's USG's fault on the lack of transparency and tuition increase, it's actually, I just want to point out our protests, where these are accomplishments of the protests which were very effective. And one of them is that we had a meeting with Dr. Van Corpus, the Vice President of Student Affairs, and even the school themselves don't know where the money is going. And what was accomplished at the meeting was that he's going to get the information from CUNY Central and then give it to us. So it's not our fault that tuition's being increased and things like that. We actually fought for it, the transparency of it, and just to point things out that protest wasn't effective. If you look at the game room, it just got painted, and we're getting new game furniture and things like that. Club area, the Vice President Student Affairs Office, they're actually willing to put down to $20,000 to $30,000 to renovate the club area with new furniture. Their rooms, their whole area just got painted, and we're putting about $10,000 for lockers that doesn't have club rooms, so they can have their supplies and things like to be stored instead of going back and forth and picking it up. It's big things. So, and a bunch of other things. The textbook rentals at the bookstore. It's gonna be implemented very soon. It's one of the things we fought for, and Vice President of Student Affairs has informed us that bookstores, they're gonna do the rental program where it's gonna be 2/3 of the used book price. So it's something we're moving on towards the better college. And another thing, the courses. A lot of people have hard time getting courses that they want. It's because they use a system where they have the data from 5 years ago and recycle that information to have more sections for classes. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to purchase this program where it's a data evaluation kind of thing where they measure all the majors, classes, and things like that from the semester before, and it's going to shoot out which sections are needed more. So all these protest things, it's amazing, and these things are things we fought for the whole year. Didn't work out because administration said it's low on the priority. So unless you fight for it, they just forget about it. So protests, in my opinion, was very effective. Got things done that hasn't been done for years, 10 years or 15 years. If you go back to Baruch archives, there's a lot of things that administration. All right, thank you.
So, I mean, we spoke about the protest here, also known as the 2 weeks vacation that USD took from doing its job. But this is the letter that they're talking about from Dr. Corpus and Dr. Altman about it. And let me read to you the big accomplishment here. We are committed to our long-standing tradition of offering an outstanding education at an affordable price and to ensuring that our students thrive while at Baruch, intellectually, physically, and emotionally. Congratulations, you got them to restate their mission statement. I'm reading through this here, and it looks like you guys got played. You guys, they blew you off with this. They blew you off because I was at the protest, and I spoke to Tanvir before the protest, by the way, and I said, if what was important to you guys was in the back of that flyer, you wouldn't have had the NBA logo on the front of that flyer. That would have been a USG event, and you would have invited all the clubs to participate and shut down student life. So, that is what should have happened. But I said I was out there. That was not a protest. That was an NBA election rally. 13 of you, I counted it. 13 of you guys had signs and posters that said "Vote NBA" on it, and you yelled, hoot and hollered for 45 minutes while you annoyed people reading lunch outside. So that was. If you really cared about this, you would have been working on it the entire year instead of making noise about it 2 weeks before an election. So, if your major accomplishment is a coat of paint, congratulations, but you still have a whole lot of work to do. Woo!
Thanks, Ben, for pointing that out, because that's what I wanted to point out. And you see, he said an effective protest. But like I said before, it was ineffective. And Ben, thank you for saying it in such a way that everyone understood it.
Protest was not as effective as, the look-wise at least, not the accomplishments. Because Baruch doesn't have that environment. Me and Tanvir and a bunch of other people were looking at Baruch archives a couple of days ago, and they did the tuition protest 30 years ago when Baruch College was actually free. And maybe a handful of people came out talking about the tuition shouldn't be implemented on this college because this college was meant to be a free college where it was quality education for free. And because people didn't put any effort to it, they started implementing a tuition to Baruch College. And maybe we don't have the atmosphere to really push for big protests and things like that, but we just don't. And we tried our best to get accomplishments, and we did. Those letter and the meeting with Ben Corpus was a separate thing. The letter came first, and when we had the meeting, we actually had a plan to improve the whole thing. You have to fight. You can't just sit back and just wait until someone does it. And if you look back, just go to Baruch archives. All the things we lost. Freshman trip, they had a freshman trip like 15 years ago. They took everybody to Poconos where they had this house by, that was, I think, owned by Baruch. And they oriented freshmen about all the Baruch things, and because nobody fought for it, they just lost it. And we're trying to bring that back, and a lot of people don't want to do it. Some people are lazy, it's changes they don't like, but starting this tradition again. We saw freshmen, the whole improvements. They're in clubs, they're in other organizations already, and they're enjoying college. And they're not transferring out. There's quality students. So thank you.